The Birth of Glory, a devotional for the seasons of Advent, Christmas, and Epiphany, produced by Northside Church. Friday, December 12th. Our scripture passage today comes from Ruth, chapter 4, verses 14 through 17.
The women said to Naomi, "Praise be to the Lord, who this day has not left you without a guardian redeemer. May he become famous throughout Israel. He will renew your life and sustain you in your old age. For your daughter-in-law who loves you and who is better to you than 7 sons has given him birth." Then Naomi took the child in her arms and cared for him. The women living there said, "Naomi has a son," and they named him Obed. He was the father of Jesse, the father of David.
How we handle a situation and respond to it will determine what it gives birth to, and whether or not it will end with peace or despair. But sometimes situations take a while to resolve, and so require patience on our part, even as we endure the labor pains they may cause. This is not something Ichabod's mother could do, convinced as she was that God's glory had departed her and her people. The result was that her situation gave birth to disappointment and death. But if we turn our attention to a little town called Bethlehem, we find a model of how patience and endurance in any situation, even in the face of struggle and bitterness, can lead to the peace that only the glory of God can provide. I'm talking here not about Mary and Joseph, but of one of their ancestors who often gets overshadowed, Naomi. The book is called Ruth, but really it's Naomi's story. She, her husband, and their 2 sons moved to the foreign land of Moab when a famine strikes Judah. What is a bad situation only gets worse, though, as soon after the move, Naomi's husband dies, and then both her sons follow a few years later. It may not have happened in a single day, but much like Ichabod's mother, Naomi has lost everything. As she decides to return home to Bethlehem, she is bitter and feeling as though God's glory had abandoned her. All she has left is a clingy daughter-in-law who refuses to leave her or forsake her. This is, of course, Ruth, who tends to steal the spotlight in the story, but who also plays a huge role in God's plan to restore peace and joy in Naomi's life through this terrible situation. We all know the story of Ruth and Boaz, so I won't retell it here, but the important part for Naomi's situation is the ending. After they are married, Ruth gives birth to a son, and Naomi is restored through the glory of God.
Then Naomi took the child in her arms and cared for him. The women living there said, "Naomi has a son," and they named him Obed. He was the father of Jesse, the father of David.
Because Naomi remained faithful and endured her situation with patience, it brought forth the peace that can only come from God's glory resting on her. But more than that, her situation also gives birth quite literally to a son whose arrival would reverberate down through the centuries until it finally came to rest on another baby boy born in Bethlehem, the glory of God himself, Emmanuel, God with us. How will you practice patience in response to your situation this Advent?